Hey guys, this is Joe, founder and host of Startuprad.io. As you guys may already know, I've run this podcast full-time since January 2021. I'm very happy to announce that Anchor FM is my sponsor for this podcast. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free and it's easy to use, even for a newbie. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Startuprad.io, your podcast show with startup news and interviews from Germany.
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Jörn again with number 3 of the interviews with the winner of Deutsche Bank Hackathon. This time I have taken on twins. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hi, super fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Can you guys introduce yourself to our listeners so they already know it's not a wordplay, you're actually twins?
Yes, we are really twins. Well, you can't see us, but we're looking also pretty the same. So my name is Benjamin.
My name is Alexander.
I think you can already hear that our voice is also almost the same, but sometimes we will also say who's going to talk. Yeah, and we shall also introduce twins.
Yes, of course. We're of course here today to talk about your startup. As said before, this is just a feature of you guys because we think the startups there are pretty cool, and nonetheless you're a Frankfurt-based startup, but there's no financial incentive involved, so we're just featuring the winners of the Deutsche Bank Hackathon because we think that are cool startups, not like other publications are doing this. So that said, guys, what is actually your company?
Yeah, so we are twins. We founded our company 1.5 years ago, actually not in Frankfurt, but back then we were based in Cologne and Bonn. And we started with, basically our company is about doing analysis in the financial environment. And what we want to do is simplify the finances of our customers and think about how can you really manage your daily money in an easy and convenient way. And this is what we are doing.
And your company is called DWINS?
Yeah, so that's a shortcut for DWINS, which is a kind of joke because we're twins. And as my brother said, we founded our company 1.5 years ago. Our first maybe
this is really confusing. You cannot tell that another person is talking. Nonetheless, just go ahead.
Just let you know that, guys. Okay, but back then we started our company with a current account switch service, which we offered to banks. But then we moved to a new and more innovative and a better product, which is now our Smart Analytics API. And it's really about analysis of transaction data of current accounts and credit cards. After switching to a new product, we thought it might be also very helpful to switch to a new city. So we moved in May 2016, so this year, to Frankfurt. We applied for the Fintech hub of Deutsche Börse here in Bornheim, here in Frankfurt. And out of 25 applications, we were one of the chosen startups who were allowed to move in this really beautiful space with a direct, a beautiful, spectacular view on the Frankfurt skyline. And so here we are.
The Fintech Hub is pretty nice. I've been there myself. Disclaimer, I'm a mentor at the pitch day, at the Frankfurt pitch day of Startup Bootcamp Fintech. And from there I tweeted also some of the view you apparently have there from the Fintech Hub. And if I can find it again, I'll put it in the show notes. Not everybody who's listening to this is is from Germany. So maybe we should talk just a little bit about the usage of credit cards in Germany versus, for example, North America.
Okay, so I think it's a little bit different here, the payments, especially that most people do not really use their credit cards, but normally you also have a normal card which is called Giro cards. It's like connected to your current account, and normally most Germans pay normally with cash. This is a big difference to all the other countries. I think in Germany about 50% of all transactions are in cash, and the other 50% are partly with Giro card and credit card. And so it's a little bit different and a little bit more in the old-fashioned way. But still, there are many digital transactions as well, and we can analyze these transactions. And based on that, we can, for example, identify that you use your credit card or your Giro card for paying at a shop like Zara or H&M. And then we would recommend you or maybe give you some voucher that you could save some money the next time.
Exactly. So I think maybe to elaborate on this point. So what we do, or what most people in the podcast know maybe as well, is categorization. So if you pay with card, credit card, or current, or with your Giro card, doesn't matter actually. You pay with this card, and then you see in your banking that this is categorized as groceries, or if you go to Zara, H&M, it is categorized as shopping or lifestyle and so on. And so that's something what most people know. But our analysis is going way more deeper than that. So maybe if you want to talk about our product at Deutsche Bank, for example, we invented Finance Guru. Finance Guru is a super personalized guru who helps you with your daily money business, or with your finances in general. And at the hackathon at Deutsche Bank, for example, we had one guy who used our application and who moved from Frankfurt to Berlin. First of all, what he did, he was logging into his bank account. We have shown his normal transaction history. That's a very popular function for all people. It's very important to see your last transactions to check if everything is right, and if nobody withdrew money without permission and so on. Then you see your current balance and so on. So that's nothing special. But then our second function, which is very special, was a digital contract folder. So based on your transactions, we create fully automatical digital contract folder where you see your monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, and yearly payments. So we see that, for example, you pay monthly your
newspaper contract,
or the telecommunication contract with Deutsche Telekom, or you go to a gym and all that stuff. We recognize that by the transaction pattern, and then we give you a digital contract folder, and you directly see how much you spend each month. Beyond that, we also recognize your customer number within the purpose of the transactions, and then we can, for example, directly cancel the contract of your newspaper contract, for example, because you just moved to Berlin and you want to read the newspaper in Berlin, not in Frankfurt anymore. So you would only click on the digital contract folder, then click on newspaper, and then you could directly cancel it, and you don't have to do the paperwork. And that's very special, I think. And then the third function, and maybe I want to hand it over at this point to my twin brother, who can now introduce the Finance Guru, which is the function within the application we have introduced.
Yeah, right. So what we believe in is that in the future, you will have a personal finance buddy who takes care of your finances, so that you don't really have to spend the time, because, you know, it's very boring and you don't really want to spend time with managing your finances, but instead you want to spend your time with fun things, go out, have fun, whatever. And so basically what the Finance Guru does is he always provides you with a checklist. For example, if for a special event, if you move to Berlin, there are many things you have to think about. Yeah. First of all, you have to change your address, and you also have to inform all your contract partners. So based on the contract folder, we can also inform all your your contract partners, and also in this case Deutsche Bank, about the address change. Secondly, you also need to change, for example, your electricity contract. So first you can cancel your old contract, and also based on the transactions and the new address, we can find a new contract for you and automatically get a new electricity contract as well. And last, in our example at Deutsche Bank, we also help the customer to do his registration in Berlin. And so there are many things related to banking, which are actually not banking, but you can really help banks, or as a bank, you can really help your customers with these things as well. And this is what we have shown at Deutsche Bank Hackathon.
Talking about the hackathon, how did you like the environment?
The environment was really exciting and fun as well. So when we arrived, we were really surprised by all the employees of Deutsche Bank who really supported us in the best possible way. We had they provided us with everything we needed. We had 3 meets each day, and it also was always different from day to day. So that was impressive. And then we even had a physical health service at the hackathon. And I don't know, I really liked it, and it was a good atmosphere, and it was really, really good. Also very well organized.
I heard this from time to time that it was very well organized, so it appears to be true. just asking, with your financial guru, you called the app, the tool that you introduced us to. With how much of this did you start the hackathon, and with how much of it did you end or finally present at the end of the hackathon?
What we had at the beginning was the idea. Of course, we had the idea that we want to build the finance guru at this weekend, and what we also had were the data analysis. But we didn't have a final concept or any screens, no front end or anything like that. So we really had to work on all these things, and it was pretty intense. All in all, we had 6 people working on the project, and I think we counted the hours we slept, and were in total maybe 8 or 10 hours per person.
Yeah, so just a few.
It was not that much, and it was a lot of work put into the product as well.
We talked with one of the founders of other startups who participated, and he said in the interview he slept 6 hours out of 42, which isn't too much as well. I was just wondering, when you talked about the financial guru, is there an algorithm in the back that is doing all the work? Is it like an AI that can actually learn something about you? And more questions, is it actually big data? So you analyze across all the clients and then give recommendations on all the data you have on an individual basis? Or how does it actually work a little bit deeper, a level deeper?
So this is a very good question. So these are exactly the topics we are working on. In first place, we have a really smart data approach, and it's smart data at the beginning. But we're working on the big data things right now, and also machine learning algorithms. This is the big thing we're working on right now, and I think we will have many more things to show in 1 month probably. So it's
But what you have mentioned, Jörn, if it's something we already have, and if it's also possible to work on multiple accounts or on multiple banks and all that questions, it's a very big yes. We are working for many banks already. So our Smart Analytics API, which we have brought to the Startup Weekend at Deutsche Bank in Berlin, is also working within other applications in German banking applications. And it's also possible to implement it for any other bank. But it's also possible to implement it, or what we have done at the hackathon here in Berlin was to implement our solution in the Deutsche Bank API. So it's compatible with many APIs, actually.
So with how many people did you actually show up there?
With 6 people.
Yeah, that was... sorry?
And that was an already established team from a company, or you just grabbed 6 random people and went there?
Yeah, we came actually with our team of DWINS. So there were 5 of our actual team, so which are also working full-time at DWINS. And then on top of that, we had one UI UX designer from a company we know, or also a friend of mine. So we know him also very good, and he was always doing very nice jobs, and we were very lucky to have him in Berlin, because what he has done during these 42 hours was really amazing.
And I think he slept only like also 6 hours.
It was really, really tough, and extremely eager to finish our application in a really beautiful way as well.
I see. And how much like stress or difficulty did you experience during this time? When we talked with one of the other teams, I was asking, it all went down without yelling, and he said most of the time. How did it work with you guys?
Well, yeah. I mean, there were always these moments when everyone is stressed out and you're thinking, okay, are we going to finish in time? And I mean, there are these moments. And I think the good thing about our company and our team was that we already know each other and we know how we work together. And so we were able to manage these situations as well. But of course, there were moments.
To be honest, we had some moments, of course, where we had to discuss some things. That's especially true in the end of these events, because then you realize, damn, guys, we've got not enough time to finish everything. And so we had to cut one function out of our presentation. And one of our team members was very disappointed by this fact. But in the end, he was also convinced that was the best decision, especially after we got to know that we were the winner of the first API hackathon.
I think finally at this point.
Yeah.
Before he was like, okay, we need that, otherwise we don't win.
When we've talked with the other teams, they always praised like the pitch coaches. Do you also go along with this praise? Did it help you to finalize your pitch, to really work on it?
Yeah, I think the two guys from or the pitch doctors, they were really, really nice. Absolutely. Like the first time they approached us, we tried to pitch our story, and then he really directly had a very, very good story as well, and we were surprised by how quickly he came up with another solution. And he helped us a lot, but I think eventually we convinced him that we have a really good story as well, and so we used our story, and he helped us to improve the details, and in the end it was really, really good pitch as far as we, like what we have felt at that moment.
You've seen all or many of the other teams who actually participated. Would you say, okay, that was a team that I thought of highly, and unfortunately they did not make it into the final winners list. So is there a team that was a little bit underrated in your personal, very subjective experience?
I think it's difficult to answer this question. I think all the winners, they had very good presentations. We really liked the FinChild presentation. It was a nice looking application and this very, very good idea. And also the way they presented the idea was very, very funny as well. And so I really like this one. I don't know about you. And they were, I think, place 3, third place.
Yeah. I think in general the quality of the teams was very high. Like I think it was very good to have a application process in front of the real hackathon, because they really only took the best ideas, and then all these best ideas came to the hackathon in Berlin, and so it was really a good competition. And in the end, I think it was a good choice of the jury. But all teams were really good in general.
I actually would like to see the videos again of all the teams, because you know you're also really excited about the whole thing on. You presented, and before you were presenting, you're very nervous, and so I think I missed many presentations actually. So I would like to see the videos.
I'm personally not sure if they are publicly available. Unfortunately, we cannot find them as well.
I don't think so.
I was just wondering, now that you went through the hackathon, you developed there your financial guru, you effectively been one of the winning teams of the hackathon. Are you actually planning to continue to work with Deutsche Bank, and how do you see the future with that? And are you also in discussions with other banks?
Yeah, good question. So Deutsche Bank is actually working on, or we are going to meet with them for a workshop, and then we're going to talk about whether we will collaborate in the future. We personally think that there are many advantages if you work as a big company with a trustful brand and many customers with a small startup, which is very agile and can turn ideas into reality. And I think this is the big point we can deliver, because we have, I think, many good ideas, and we can also turn these ideas into reality in a very quick time, as we have shown at the Deutsche Bank Hackathon. And this is what we are going to talk about. But I think it makes sense, highly sense.
Absolutely. And to answer the other part of your question, if we already collaborate with other banks, yes, we do that. As we said, our Smart Analytics API is an already existing product, which is already in place with other banks. And we're going to elaborate on the API and going to do it always better, and then also to have some other corporations as well.
You've been talking about API. A tricky question that I asked the other two startups as well. How would you define an API? What is it for you?
Well, that's always a good question for the business guys.
I know.
Let's put it this way. We see our solution as very flexible. So if a bank, for example, decides that they would like to use our solution, we can offer our solution as a white label solution, which they can implement into their applications. For example, if they say we want to provide our customers with a digital contract folder, we could give them our data analytics as an API or as a white label solution, and they could use it to offer, to leverage this API to offer value-added services to their customers.
So you're right now offering your solution to other banks as a white labeling product. One question I'm not 100% sure, since you are not per se working with the financial streams, with the money itself. You're not regulated, and basically banks all over the world could use the financial guru as a white label, right?
Well, it's not a white label solution for the front end, but it's more for the back end. So they can apply our white label solution to their data, to their transaction data, and then based on the structured transaction data, they can provide value-added services in the front end.
The results, like in the single folders, could also be shown like in the app of the respective bank.
Absolutely.
That is actually pretty cool. That should be a big market, shouldn't it be?
It is a big market, and for us, it's very important to not offer white label solutions in the front end. I think every bank or every company in general want to distinguish from other companies in their market, and I'm not quite sure if a big bank or a large bank here in Germany would really buy a white label solution, because if Deutsche Bank, for example, buys a white label solution and another large bank in Germany would buy the exactly same white label solution for the front end, how would you distinguish between this other bank? And so what we believe is you can offer white label solutions in the back end, because nobody sees this and it can be the same algorithms. But in the front end, you need to customize it for your customer base as well. So the customers of Deutsche Bank are very different to customers of other direct banks. So that's what we are focusing on. We want to enable banks to establish a digital ecosystem on their current account and credit cards.
So that means a client that would in the future, like in a half year or a little bit more out, would use your tool. It's not necessarily that they actually know they are, or the bank they are using is applying your tool. So nobody would ever know, right?
That's correct.
And that's the best possible way, because what we also see in the fintech sector in Germany is that the Germans are a little bit scared by small companies and maybe not so big brands, not so trustful brands. What they really want to have is a huge brand with with trust and so on. And then they are willing to use the applications, and they are also willing to give their data for analysis, so that they get personalized advertisements. Because at the moment, banks are not so smart and are not giving good advertisements to the guys or to the people out there. And that's what we're used nowadays from Amazon, from Google, and so on. Everything is smart except of banking nowadays. And that's what we want to change.
Well, I have a few thoughts on that, but first, I'm very happy to have you here because, like, you're the poster child of something I've been telling, like, in the scene for some time, because there's a lot of potential for startups for fintechs that are not client facing, where you and your analytics tool would be a good example. Secondly, you're also from Frankfurt, Rhein-Main rocks, woohoo! And last but not least, I have a personal story that I would like to share here, because we've been looking to do also some video chats, video interviews with Startuprad.io, and actually I was ordering a HD quality webcam, and apparently this is only done by webcam girls, because Amazon offered me as a guy for a few weeks in a row some sexy costumes.
Okay.
So they're not always working properly.
Okay, that's really funny. But just yesterday on Facebook, a friend of mine, I started with him in Boston. He's now living in Ireland, and he's a French guy. And so he's offered in Facebook an advertisement to buy a pullover with saying or with a picture on it saying based in Ireland with French roots. And that was kind of scary. He shared it and said, how do they know? And it's just maybe too much targeting, too much detail they know. But it's getting crazier and crazier, and it's getting more personal. And his final statement was, okay, that's creepy, but I think I'm going still to buy it. Well, I'm still going to buy it. So I don't know. People really like it, obviously.
Awesome. Pretty cool. One more question. Are you currently looking for investors? So meaning, would you be open if a VC or a business angel would come around and talk to you?
Yeah, I mean, we're a startup. We are open for all the talks, but right now we are self-funded still, and we are open for talks, but we are not in the process of looking actively looking for a VC or business angels. But if there was a good fit, we might consider that as an option as well.
For you, each one, even though I cannot distinguish your voices, for each one separately, I would expect an answer. If your life would be a whatever combination of either a movie title or a book title, either separately or combined, mashed up, what would it be and why?
It was book title or what?
If your life could be described either as a book title or the title of a movie or a combination, what would it be and why?
Okay.
No, we're not going to take a break. We have to do this kind of live.
Okay, that's a tough one. Okay.
Yeah, the easy questions coming out of the podcast.
If I wouldn't work that much, I think I would travel a lot. So my title would be Paradise in Asia, a story of a lonely traveler.
That would be cool when you've been saying that, I had in mind in 80 years around the world, like traveling all your life around the world, which would also be pretty cool.
That's good as well. I love that one as well.
And you have been...
I was Alexander.
Okay, and now Ben. What is your answer?
Looking for smart answers in general in life.
Oh, that's very philosophical.
Okay.
Because I don't have a smart answer right now. So this is the... like, it was a very long day and I'm totally...
Yeah, we should tell our listeners, like, we are recording this right now and we are beyond 9 p.m. 2100 CET at the time we're recording this, beginning of December. So you're completely excused. And guys, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And if you don't think we've missed anything important, I'd just like to say thank you.
Thank you very much as well.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice evening.
You too. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.